So in this part of the Django tutorial, we are talking about something called Django Admin. So here you see the Django Admin module or interface, or what we should call it. So basically it's part of Django, and basically you can go to this location /admin, and this will pop up in order to get access to the Django Admin module. Here you will need a username and password, so we need to create a separate user and a password for this. And typically that information will be stored in our case, this PostgreSQL database. So basically Django Admin is included with Django, and Django Admin offers what you call a CRUD user interface for all your models. And CRUD is short for create, read, update and delete. Typically we use this Django Admin. It's not for ordinary users of your application, but typically it is for super users. And in order to start using it, you need to create this username and password in order to get access to it. So let's see how we can create a new user and be able to get access to this Django Admin interface. In order to create a new super user, basically we go back to the command prompt where we do most of the configuration. Then just type Python and then manage.py, and then we use this following command, create super user like this, and then just click enter. And then you need to specify a username. Here you can specify whatever username you prefer. It also suggests if you leave blank, you will use this default name that is popping up here. In my case, it's Hans P. So I just click blank and use this default username, which is in my case is Hans P. But of course, in your case, it's another name. Here you also need to specify an email address. You can of course just specify a dummy address here or whatever. So specify an email address and then finally a password. And then you have to repeat it like this. And there are some built-in security. So in my case, I entered a password that is too short. So it typically need to at least contain 8 characters, etc. So then it's you need to specify either a new username or just bypass this password validation. In my case, I just choose to bypass. So I click just yes in my case. And basically now we have created a username and a password that we can use for this Django Admin interface. So in order to test it, we just need to, as usual, need to start our web server. So then Python manage.py run server like this. And now we can go back to our web browser. So here is our customer application, which is /customer. If you want to use this Django Admin, we just type admin instead, and then you get access to this login information. And here you need to specify the username and the password just created here in the command prompt. So then I just log in with my username and my password, and then I get access to this. I can increase it. So you get access to this one. By default, you get access to groups. So here you can add or create groups or other users. Here you also see the existing user that we just created. In my case, it was Hans P, which is the username and email address. And then I can click on it. And then I can change the username. I can change the password. I can also add the in addition to the username, I can add the first name last name like this. And I can click save, or I can delete it if I want to. There's lots of options here. But basically now we have one user. You can also use this interface, so now you don't need to create new users here in the command prompt. You can use this Django Admin in order to create more users for your system. But in our case, so by default, you can create, insert, change, or delete groups and users. But in our case, we also want to include customers in this Django Admin interface. So let's see how we can do that. So then basically we need to go back to our Visual Studio Code. I can close all these files. And then we need to change one file here in our project, which is called admin.py. This one. So by default it's quite empty, but here we want to register the model that we have created. So we have created this, if we open our models here, this one, here. So we have created this model called customer, which we also want to have included here in this Django admin interface. So then basically here in admin.py, we just need to add this from models import customer. So you need to just import our customer model that we have created earlier, like this. And here under register your models, you just use admin.site register customer like this. So basically that's okay. From models in, I was missing something here, is important like this. So we need to add these two lines from dot models import customer, and then we just need to register it admin.site register and the customer model that we have already created here. And that's all we need to do, and then we can go back now to this admin interface. You can click refresh, and then you see you go to the home here. You know, in addition to groups and users, we can also get access to customers. So then we can either add a new customer, you can change an existing customer, or you can basically just click on this one. And then you see here in the list, we have already 2 customers in the database. So these are the customers that are stored in the PostgreSQL database. So then we can click on one of them, either change the first name, last name, email, phone number, or address, and click save. We have also the possibility to delete it. The same for this Elvis Presley. We can also create a new one, so then just click add customer, then so then let's just create a new person here. So then assume we have a person called, or customer called Donald. Donald Trump, email donald.trump @usa.com or something, and the phone number, he has this phone number, and address is Washington or something. It's like this, and then you can click save. And then you see now we have 3 different customers: Donald Trump, John Wayne, and Elvis Presley. And then we can edit the different customers, we can change information, we can delete, we can create new customers, etc. And when we now go back to this customers application that we have here, we can just click refresh, and it will be updated with the newest information that are stored in the database. But now we haven't created this new customer, manually in the Postgre database using this PG admin. We have used this Django admin interface to create new customers from this interface. So basically, admin comes with a pre-made CRUD interface for creating new information that are stored in the database that you set up like this. So let's summarize our Django project and our Django application. So by entering this URL, you get to the home page of the Django project. So far, it's just this default page showing this information. You installed it properly, congratulations, etc. And then we created this customer application, which we needed to create a model. We needed to create a view, and we needed to create a template, and then the template or the web page was presented like this web page you see here, where you actually get a list of customers, and these customers that you see here in an ordinary HTML table are stored in this PostgreSQL database system that we was setting up. And in order to add more customers, change existing customers, etc., we need to log in to this Django admin module, which you get by clicking or selecting this URL /admin, and then after a login with username and password, you get access to this where you can change existing groups, users, but also change existing customers or add customers, delete customers, etc. like this. So then typically the end user of your Django web application will use this web page where he will retrieve information about the different customers, but for super users and administrators of the web application will get also access to this information where he can add, edit or delete the customers. But the default user of the application will only get access to this one, because here you don't need to log in to get access to this information. But in order to create new users, new customers, or edit them or delete them, you need to log in order to get access to this Django admin interface like this. So let's summarize. In this tutorial, we was creating a Django project and a Django web application. And Django has built-in support for different database systems like SQL, MySQL, MariaDB and PostgreSQL. By default, Django includes this SQLite database, but for real application, you typically should use one of the other database systems like MySQL, MariaDB or PostgreSQL. And in this tutorial, we was using this PostgreSQL, and we was creating a simple customer application that was able to retrieve data from our PostgreSQL database. And we was also using this built-in functionality called Django Admin in order to make it possible to have CRUD functionality, meaning we could create, read, update and delete customers and be able to store them in this PostgreSQL database. So that's all. So good luck using Django. Thank you and goodbye.